Hello, everyone. Dear listeners, you're tuned in to Welcome to English, the podcast that takes you on a linguistic journey around the world. I'm your host, Christine, and today we have a special episode tailored for all the globetrotters out there. Are you ready to brush up on your language skills and become an English-speaking traveler? Well, you're in luck. In this episode, we'll be diving into the world of English for travelers, where we'll explore essential phrases, cultural nuances, and practical tips to make your adventures abroad even more enriching. And to guide us through this linguistic expedition, we have not one, but three incredible language experts joining us today. So, let's meet our guests. Dennis, a seasoned traveler and English language enthusiast, is our first visitor. Dennis has been extensively around the world and has developed a strong understanding of how to overcome cultural differences and establish genuine relationships with people. Her warm and friendly approach to language learning is sure to inspire even the most hesitant language learners. Next, we have Henry, an English teacher passionate about travel. Henry has been teaching English for over a decade and has a deep understanding of the challenges faced by travelers when it comes to language barriers. His practical tips and strategies will equip you with the tools you need to confidently communicate in English while on your adventures. And finally, we have Anila, a language and culture researcher who specializes in intercultural communication. With her expertise in understanding the nuances of language use in different cultural contexts, Anila will shed light on how to navigate social interactions and customs while traveling. Her insights will help you connect with locals on a deeper level and create memorable experiences. Welcome, Dennis, Henry, and Anila. It's a pleasure to have you all here today.
Thank you, Christine. I'm thrilled to be part of this podcast and share my experiences and tips with fellow language enthusiasts.
Likewise, Christine. I'm excited to provide some practical advice to help travelers feel more confident in using English during their trips.
Thank you for having me, Christine. I'm looking forward to delving into the cultural aspects of language learning and how they influence our interactions abroad.
Fantastic. Let's jump right into it. When it comes to English for travelers, what are some key phrases or expressions that our listeners should learn before embarking on their journeys?
Well, Christine, one crucial phrase that travelers should have in their arsenal is, "Do you speak English?" It's a simple question that can open up a world of possibilities, as it helps you identify locals who can assist you in English.
Absolutely, Dennis. Another useful phrase is, could you help me? This polite request can come in handy when you need directions, recommendations, or any kind of assistance during your travels.
And let's not forget the importance of mastering basic greetings like hello, thank you, and goodbye. These simple expressions show respect and appreciation for the local culture and can help you establish a positive connection right from the start.
Those are all fantastic suggestions. Now, what about cultural nuances? How can travelers adapt their language use to different cultural contexts? Dennis, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Absolutely, Christine. Cultural awareness is essential when it comes to language learning. Different cultures have their unique ways of communicating and expressing politeness. For example, in some cultures, addressing someone by their first name may be seen as too informal, while in others, it's perfectly acceptable. By being aware of these nuances, travelers can adapt their language use accordingly and show respect for the local customs.
That's a great point, Dennis. Henry, as an English teacher with experience in various cultural contexts, what advice would you give to travelers in terms of adapting their language use?
Well, Christine, one important aspect is understanding the appropriate level of formality. In some cultures like Japan or South Korea, using more formal language when addressing someone older or in a position of authority is expected. On the other hand, in more relaxed cultures like Australia or the United States, a more casual approach may be acceptable. It's crucial to research and familiarize yourself with the cultural norms of your destination to ensure effective communication.
Excellent advice, Henry. Anila, as a language and culture researcher, what insights can you share regarding the connection between language and culture?
Language and culture are intricately linked, Christine. It's important to remember that language is not just a means of communication, it carries cultural values, beliefs, and social norms. When traveling, understanding the cultural context in which a language is used can greatly enhance communication and foster meaningful connections. For example, learning about gestures, body language, and the use of honorifics can help travelers navigate social interactions more effectively. Absolutely, Christine. When it comes to language learning while traveling, it's important to embrace opportunities for immersion. Immerse yourself in the local culture by engaging in conversations with native speakers, visiting local Henriettes, or participating in cultural activities. The more you expose yourself to the language in real-life situations, the faster your language skills will improve.
I couldn't agree more, Dinas. It's all about practicing and applying what you learn. One effective strategy is to find language exchange partners or conversation groups in the local community. This allows you to practice your English while helping others learn your native language. It's a win-win situation that can lead to meaningful connections and language development.
Absolutely, Henry. And let's not forget the power of technology. With language learning apps, online resources, and language tutorials, travelers have a wealth of language learning tools at their fingertips. These resources can be accessed anytime, anywhere, making it easier than ever to continue language learning while on the go.
Fantastic tips, Dennis, Henry, and Anila. Immersion, practice, and utilizing technology are definitely key strategies for language learning while traveling. It's inspiring to see how travelers can make the most of their experiences by actively engaging with the language and culture of their destination.
Absolutely, Christine. Language learning should be an exciting and enriching part of the travel experience. By embracing the local language, travelers can break down barriers, connect with locals on a deeper level, and truly make the most of their adventures.
I couldn't agree more, Dinas. Language learning opens doors to new connections, cultural understanding, and memorable experiences. It's an essential skill for any traveler who wants to truly immerse themselves in the places they visit.
And let's not forget the personal growth that comes with language learning. It expands our horizons, boosts our confidence, and allows us to see the world from a different perspective. So, to all the travelers out there, embrace the challenge of learning English and make the most of your journeys.
Absolutely, Dennis, Henry, and Anila. Learning English for travelers is not just about practicality, but also about personal growth and cultural appreciation. Thank you all for sharing your expertise and insights. Before we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts or messages for our listeners?
I would just like to encourage everyone to step out of their comfort zones and embrace the language learning journey. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, ask for help, and keep practicing. Language learning is a lifelong process, and every effort you make brings you closer to fluency.
Absolutely, Dinas. And remember, learning a language is not just about grammar and vocabulary. It's about connecting with people, understanding different perspectives, and immersing yourself in new cultures. So go out there, explore, and let the English language become your passport to incredible experiences.
And lastly, don't underestimate the power of a smile and a positive attitude. Language barriers may exist, but the willingness to communicate and connect transcends them. Embrace the diversity of languages and cultures you encounter, and your travels will be all the richer for it.
Beautifully said, Dinas, Henry, and Anila. Thank you all for joining us today and sharing your valuable insights on English for travelers. I'm sure our listeners are feeling inspired and ready to embark on their language learning adventures. Remember, dear listeners, with a little bit of effort and a lot of curiosity, you can unlock the world through language. Safe travels, and until next time, keep exploring. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Welcome to English. If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review. Stay curious, keep exploring, and until next time, happy travels.